Sometimes in life, word of wisdom have a way of sinking into your brain and changing your life for the better. Words of wisdom are helpful to anyone looking to get inspired through words that are so powerful as they are meaningful. These impactful words of wisdom will inspire you to dig deeper and leave you with purpose and motivation. Welcome to Let's Talk World. Welcome back to Let's Talk World. I hate this kind of mask, but you know what? I just want to wear it because this is actually sold by my very good friend Kate at Kate Island Shop, and they are located online kateislandshop.com. It's really cheap, and they're really cool because as you can see it's all diamonds in here, and it's normally this is like $60, but you can actually get it from me for $25 per piece. So go ahead and message me. It's really cool mask. But if you look inside, there are pocket inside too, and also there are always words of wisdom inside it. So go ahead and support my friend Kate Island Shop, and she's gonna be my next guest. Uh, 2 weeks from now. Yes, 2 weeks. I was thinking it's next week, but it's 2 weeks from now. We will show you all her collection, and it's handmade. She make all the clothing and every women's accessory through hand, and there's always a meaning on every single product item that she is selling on her store. And you can find her at Westgate, inside all those shops at Westgate. But anyways, guys, you already know what is Let's Talk World all about. It's about featuring passionate people, handsome people like the guy besides me. And this guy right here is just an amazing guy, and I'm just totally blown up when I seen his profile on Facebook. That's where we met. You meet people on Facebook not through dating, but through acquaintances, good acquaintances. But anyways, he is the founder of Evil Genius Leadership Consultants. He also served as an officer in the Air Force. Another officer in the Air Force. Come on. But you know what? I've been surrounded with a lot of people in the service, was in the service and in the service, and it's always an honor actually be with people who serve in the military, because they are, first of all, the most thing is they are well disciplined. If there's something wrong with them, I think there's something wrong with you. That's what I would say. But anyways, welcome, Jason, to my show.
Thank you. It was thank you for the kind words about the military and folks in the military. Thank you for your support, and it was an honor to serve. It wasn't just just not honored to be here, but it was an honor to serve in the Air Force, and it's an honor to be here with you. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, it's an honor also to have you. But anyways, I've seen your profile. I've read a lot about you, and one of the things that I really love about this man is the evil genius leader marketing. I was like, hey, I gotta have this on my show. I gotta have, and I just learned that he has his own show too. So, anyways, let us tell us more about Evil Genius, because it's kind of like it's part of marketing. I know that Evil Genius. It is more of like a first impression, right? When you go on marketing.
Absolutely, and I would love to take the credit for brand decision, except I didn't come up with it. A girl I was dating when I was in Alabama was the one who came up with it. You've had several businesses and you've been in business, so you know how hard it is when you're trying to come up with your initial branding to find something that's unique, but not too weird for people, but also not too similar to somebody else's business. And that's one of the hardest things about getting your business started. If you're trying to come up with unique branding that's representative of your values and what you want to portray out in the community, which is what great branding does, it can take a lot of time and a lot of thought to separate yourself, and you just don't want to be confused with anybody else. And that's what I was running into, trying to convey what the company was all about, not being confused with somebody else, but not being too far out there as well, right?
Yes.
And so I was coming up with names after name. I was sending all these lists of like 10 names to friends of, what do you think about any of these names for the business? And they were like, yeah, they're all fine. And I was dating this girl at the time, and she said, well, these are all good. I think you'd be fine with any of these, but I really always think of you as like the evil genius behind this stuff, and I think you should call it something like that. And so I said to her, well, if you don't mind, I'm going to use that. And she said, absolutely, go ahead and use that. So,
oh, that's amazing.
And
Evil Genius.
Yeah, what I really like about it is what I wanted to do with my company is show people, and this was, of course, 6 years ago, almost 7 years ago, show people everybody's got that idea inside them. That spark of an idea that they can go do something great in the world. They can make a big impact on the world. Everybody's got it, and everybody can do it. You just might need some help being shown the way there. And that's what we do at Evil Genius is we help people with the nuts and bolts pieces of their business, like the strategy of their business, and sometimes the marketing, although that's not really our level of expertise. But what we really focus on is building that team of people around you, like that Evil Genius would, that team of people who are going to help turn your dream, your spark of an idea into reality. And so that's what it's all about. And that's why I think the branding not just connects with people on a fun level, but when you meet me and my team, it sticks.
How can I be part of this? I want to be part of these Evil Geniuses.
Well, come on, we'll go do it. I mean, you were talking about starting another business the other day.
But
so.
I'm also an Evil Genius leader, so I want to be part of this one. I'm gonna piggyback of what you just said, that when you actually start a business, you help them how to start the business. The first thing that I would suggest to a lot of people who want to start business is start it. Because that's the hardest part to do. We can have different ideas, but you cannot step forward. It's so hard. It's so hard until you push yourself and start it. You'll never ever get there. And the other things that I want to talk about is, when you are looking for names, yes, you have a lot of names that's coming up, asking other people, although I don't ask other people. And then it's not only that, you still have to go and find if this name is already taken or not. That's the other hard part.
Yeah, and usually the internet is pretty good about that. You can go type in the name you were going to use and type in what state you're in, or just do an internet. So if you're thinking about starting a business and you've got a cool name that you want to use that's not your own name, and there's reasons to use your own name and reasons not to use your own name, and that depends on what your business and what you're comfortable with. But just go type into the internet and see how many hits you get of people who are doing similar things or the same thing you're doing. If they're using a similar name and they're doing the same thing you are, you may not want to use that name. I found when I searched on Evil Genius, there was a custom car shop in California that was doing it. There was a group of online gamers who were using it, but there was nobody I could find anyway in the leadership and management and business coaching and leadership training kind of space. And so I ran with it because it was a good fit. Again, you
And
can.
some people are using it already. That's a good actually advantage. So yeah.
It is because it means people are searching for it, and they might find you as well. So
Exactly. It's
again,
all
it's that.
about, it's all about algorithm, guys.
It is, and I didn't know that at the time. This was back in 2013, 2014, before people really got a good handle on what the algorithm was, and of course it was always changing. But yeah, you don't want to be too far outside the mainstream because no one's going to be searching for you, but you also want to be. You don't want to be too similar to anybody else, and so it's a delicate balance. You may have to work with your branding, and you may have to try different things, especially if you're just getting started. It's okay. Yes, when you're established and you've got clients or customers and you're bringing in that revenue and you're known in the community, you don't want to have to change your branding if you don't have to. But early on, it's okay to experiment with things in a business.
Yep. Yeah, that's a really good advice actually. See, this is the guy that you go to when you're starting a business, and I try to be this kind of guy, but you know what? I have so much other things, and my focus is only on one side, and I want to talk about that too. Like when you are focusing on one thing, a lot, but when you are owning a business, jack of all trades might not be a good fit.
Yeah, one thing about being in business, and I'm probably going to say there's one thing about being in business a whole bunch of times in this interview. You have to be really, if you're going to be successful, one, you need to be solving somebody's problem in the community. If you're going to be in business, you need to be helping somebody with something. Otherwise, you're not really a business, and people aren't
There's
going to
no
pay you
goal.
for anything,
Yeah,
right?
there's no end results.
But you have to be really clear on what that is and how you do it. And we'll probably talk about my digital course in a little bit. But
Yes.
piece of free advice that's inside my digital course is when you're getting your business started, or if you're struggling with your business, trying to get those customers, trying to communicate what you do, you've always got to come back to why you started your business. There's some reason you had, some problem you saw in the community, or something you saw that you could do better than anyone else could do, or the way you did it was going to help people better than anyone else could. Why you started your business, who you're trying to help, and how it is you help them. That's the beginning of your
I'm
business
gonna hire him
strategy.
as my mentor.
Yeah, and anytime. But that's the beginning of your business strategy, and we go into a lot more of the details in the course. But that's the very first lesson in our course about getting those three things straight. If you have those three things straight, and you can be specific about it, then you can communicate that to your potential clients, the people who can help you find clients and customers, your friends and family who may know people who would be a good fit for you, strategic partners who do things that are similar to you but not what you do. It's all about building your network and building relationships. But in order to do that successfully, why, who, and how.
Yes.
And so if you can do that, that's always your touchstone or one of your touchstones. If you can do that and always come back to that, whatever you're doing for your business, then you can start to figure out, okay, what are the skills I need to do this business? You may need to go learn a bunch of skills.
Yep.
One of the things I had to do, leadership, management, strategy, all things I learned in the Air Force, all things I taught in the Air Force as an instructor. But what the Air Force did, 20 years in the Air Force did not teach me marketing. It didn't teach me networking. It didn't teach me sales. These were all skills I had to learn. And these are all skills every business person has to learn if you don't already have them. So you may be really good at what we call your core competency, but there may be other skills you have to learn. But what you don't want is too many core competencies in your business, especially starting out. Focus on one thing you're really good at. Focus on that one problem you're trying to solve in the community. The community will let you know if they want you to solve more problems for them.
Oh, that's amazing. That was so funny when you said that in the military they don't teach sales. I know a lot from the military who come back and sales. They are CEO in sales. They are vice president in sales, and I not CEO in sales, vice president in sales, vice president in marketing. And I'm like, how did you get that position? You didn't have that. You didn't acquire that skills when you were in the military. But that's really funny. You guys see, this is come go back. Well, let's go back to what I said earlier about military guys are actually very disciplined. They know what they want. I think that's something that you guys learn to is you know what you guys want.
And that is looking back on it, having been in business 6 years and 20 years in the Air Force prior to business, discipline is the one skill that carries me through every day. when things aren't working right, when I try something that doesn't work, discipline to try again, discipline to go back and say, well, I know this should be working. Maybe checking, am I doing it right? Am I doing all the steps? Am I doing all the steps in the right order? Mm-hmm. Sometimes in the pace of business, we want to get moving quickly, right?
Yeah.
If we skip steps, sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. And having that discipline to always go back and say, did I do all the steps? Did I do them in the right order? Okay, maybe I could have done this a little better, but it worked out. But I have to remember, in a really challenging situation, I've got to be disciplined. And the other thing about business is you've got to treat it like a job. I think you've probably known people who are really kind of more hobbyists with their business.
Yeah, well, yeah, those goes away in few years. You know what I
mean? They go away and then they come back, right? We see them over and over
back
again.
And with different idea.
Yeah.
Different type of business, you know. It's not like they're coming back with the same thing that they did.
And I've known people who have a great idea for their business. They're good at what they're doing, but they didn't treat it like a job. And you've got to get up every day and you've got to treat it like a job. And if you don't have any customers, you've got to get real comfortable with the idea of, I've got to spend half an hour looking for potential customers, doing cold calls, reaching out to people. LinkedIn has been something great for me, finding customers and clients on LinkedIn. I never thought I'd be doing that, but I've developed it into a habit now. And I mean, I spend a good probably 5 to 10 minutes.
Have you found me on LinkedIn yet? No?
I don't know if we are connected on LinkedIn.
Yeah,
we'll have to look. When we take a break, we'll look. If we're not, we'll get connected.
Yes,
but
we have to.
I know we're connected on Facebook, and we got to get connected on everything else.
Yes,
too.
of course. We definitely will. Well, I'm going to piggyback on what you said earlier again.
Yeah, if I get talking too long...
Oh, no, you're good.
You tell me that you've got a new question.
Yeah, don't worry about it because I don't write things, but it's all actually written here. But anyways, besides the point, I just want to actually add to what you just said earlier about your discipline and everything, and about the hobby. You know, it's really, really important also to assess your business before every step moving forward. You need to assess it. What am I doing wrong? What could I have done better? You need to have all those on the list. Which one is wrong? Like when I started this business 2 years ago, and prior to starting this, I had learned all the skills that I need to learn prior to starting this for 6 months. 6 months of starting how to be in the camera, how to turn on the camera. I used to be not a camera person and social media person. So I used to be that. So I need to put myself into it. So every single time that I do a step forward within the business, self-assessment. What's wrong? I remember when I start talking in front of the camera, even though I hated myself seeing in the camera and hearing my voice, I have to suck it in and watch it because I need to remove words that redundancy of words that I keep on using over the show. And I remember, anyways, by the way, those are the things that I learned. I didn't learn this from my speech lesson or anything. I learned it by actually assessing myself. So assessments is really, really important when you're starting anything in life.
Absolutely. That's a great example. I went through the same thing. When I started doing videos for my social media, I had all the ums and the uhs. And when you have to sit there and you have to edit them and you decide either am I going to edit this out or am I going to leave that, you start to learn not to put them into your video when you're saying it the first time. I learned things like I went from doing longer videos to doing shorter videos just because it was less effort for me to edit if I had to do multiple takes. If I did a shorter video that was 3 to 4 minutes instead of 9 to 10 minutes, I could just have a main thesis, 3 talking points, and a wrap up, and I could remember what all those were, and I could just speak without having to worry exactly what the script says. So that was something I learned was good for me because I could speak a little bit extemporaneously when I did video. But you'll learn those things when whatever your core competency in your business is, you will learn as you go, but you need to do it. And the important thing is, if you have a new business, but you don't have customers yet or very few customers, this is where you keep working on those things,
Yes.
right? I'm sure you
That's
did a
part of the
bunch of, I'm sure you did a bunch of videos. I know I did that I was pretty sure nobody was ever going to watch,
Yeah.
but I did them anyway because you practice and you learn and you get good at it. So whatever your business is, there's a craft to that business. You've always got to work on that craft, whether someone's paying you to do it or not. That will give you the most improvement. And as you work on that, you'll get better at what you're doing. And if you're keeping your eyes and your ears out for what the community is really looking for, you'll be able to adjust. Now you've got new skills to meet those needs.
Yes, yes, I love that. I love that you were talking about long videos to short videos, and you edit it yourself, right?
Yeah, I did everything.
You know, the funny thing was anything that I did in front of the camera since I started, you can still find it on our archives on YouTube. I never edited anything because I believe in live. I don't believe in pre-recorded. And the main reason why I started social media shows is this is 2017. I foresee it that it's coming, that everybody will do the same thing. I saw it coming.
Yeah.
It's a vision. So that's the reason why every time I have a show, I said I don't want a pre-recorded. I want live, because this is the idea. The idea that I have from the beginning is to have Facebook Live, but this is a professional Facebook Live because we have all the other things around us.
We've got some nice equipment in here. You've got a good setup.
Thank you. I appreciate that. You know what? That's one of my main goal when I started this. I started with one computer, but it's not about me. I'm gonna go actually. Do you want to add anything about the evil genius? So,
Oh,
leadership.
well, yeah.
No, your.
Oh, the branding and the
the video.
the video. We haven't done video in a long time. The big focus has been on the digital course.
Yeah, there you go. The digital.
The digital course. Yeah. You know, the weird thing was, starting early 2020, I was running a workshop in downtown Las Vegas. It was called Grow Your Small Business or Grow Your Business or something like that. And I did that. Started this whole long story of how that got started, but it was basically kind of a workshop, and we would bring in some small business owners and they'd pay a little bit of money. And I kind of had some of the lessons planned out, but it was really more, well, we've got these 4 or 5 business owners around the table. What can we help you with today? And we would do that for a Friday or a Saturday in downtown Las Vegas. And so we did it 3 times, I think. And after I did it a few times, I said, you know what, this would be great. Now that I've done it a few times, I can put some more structure to this. I can make it a digital course, and we can get to people all over the country, all over the world. They don't have to come here to Las Vegas. And so that had always been the plan.
I want to pick on his brain.
And then, of course, we all remember on March 15th, everything was open. On March 16th, everything was closed. And so that's when I really started working in earnest on turning it into a digital course. And we just got it launched October 1st. And so the digital course is called Small Business Growth Strategies. You can find a link to it on our webpage, evilgeniusleadership.com, or if you go to evilgeniusleadership.thinkific.com, it'll take you right to the course page, and you can buy it there if you're interested. But we take it and we help you develop strategies for your business, and we help you take your big picture strategy and turn it into action. And we do that in 5 areas. And I think these are the most important 5 areas I learned from being in the Air Force, getting an MBA, and being in business for 6 years and helping people with their businesses for 6 years. So we look at 5 areas. The first one is your overall business strategy. And like we said, that starts with defining why you started your business, who you're doing it for, and how you help them. So we go through your overall business strategy. Then we start talking about how do you turn your business strategy into something you can communicate to your ideal customers. And we go into a bunch of marketing stuff, and we even go into some metrics on how do you know if your marketing is working. Then we shift gears, because if you're doing everything from the first couple parts of the course, now your calendar is starting to fill up with customers and clients. So now we've got to help you manage your time. And as the boss, as the owner of a business, or if you're the manager, CEO, an executive in the business, on the team, are you spending your time on the things that are really the most productive for you to spend your time on in your business? And if not, we need to get you some help. But help isn't free, as you know, right?
No, of course not.
So then we shift gears again to get out of just looking at your time, and now we start to look at your business finances. And we help people. You've heard the phrase "know your numbers."
Yes.
We go through
We do hear that a lot on our classes on the business.
Yeah.
Yes, cool.
Right. So we go through what I think are the most important numbers for a small business owner to know. There are a few that are important. There are lots of numbers out there that aren't important. We try to get you to focus on the ones that are important to you. We teach you about your profit and loss statement. We do a break-even analysis with you to show how much work do I need to be doing to make it worthwhile to have this business. Otherwise, it's just an expensive hobby.
So
right?
do you guys have an accountant in your team?
We don't. I have enough accounting knowledge to be dangerous. Are you an accountant?
Yes.
Well,
so hire me now.
I was going to say I have worked with a lot of accountants and bookkeepers of the content of the course, and they've said, yeah, it's
I'm
really
certified.
great. You're certified? All right. Well, we'll talk after. We'll talk after about what we're going to do together.
Anyways, that's great. It's really great what you did to our community in the past few months. I hope we could continue that, because when you were talking about that, I really let's do it again.
Yeah.
But because I'll be here, because I am a business management student and degree holder, and I literally on top of my head, I know about business. No matter what you talk to me about business, that's my lane, darling. That's my alley right there. But anyways, well, we're gonna give them more when they go to your classes, digital classes.
Yes.
Digital thing. So say it again where they can find that.
Oh, they can get it. Go to my website, evilgeniusleadership.com.
Right here.
Oh, right there. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's right here.
Oh,
it's
is it there?
Yeah, it's right
It's going to
here.
be there. It's not really there. I
No,
can't
it
see
is.
it.
It is here. It is here.
It's really there.
Yes.
So evilgeniusleadership.com or evilgeniusleadership.thinkific.com. That will take you right to the course. And the last part of the course, which I think is really the most valuable, because these were things I learned in the Air Force about team building and leadership, but not in business school. And things that I think a lot of small business owners struggle with is, how do you build that team around you? How do you work with your team? How do you get them? I
think you're missing some classes, because I learned that.
Did you? Okay, well, we talk about setting expectations, how to get people to follow through on the expectations that you have for them. I didn't get it in business school. So,
I did.
So we talk about...
You're missing some classes. I'm going to talk to your dean.
Maybe. But we talk about hiring. How do you really hire the right people to bring people in? We talk about interviewing. We talk about and I hated that I had to put this in the course, but what do you do when someone's not meeting expectations? How do you handle discipline and firing someone? So, and I think that's really what the whole course builds up to, is how do you build this team around you?
That's in sociology. Have you had a sociology class?
No, because I was an engineer as an undergraduate.
Oh,
so,
okay, got you.
So that stuff's out there, but when you go take a business workshop, you don't necessarily get those. How do you really turn what's in your head? How do you get what you expect of your team in your head into their head so they can do it? I like to say we help you build a team that solves your problems before you even know you have a problem. And that's what we're trying to do with this course. But we're trying to build you up there to have this team, you've got to be clear about what your business is about. You've got to have customers. You've got to manage your time and resources. And then you can bring that team on around you to make you truly successful.
I cannot wait to actually get this, this digital courses, because I would love. See, I'm already, I already graduated with business management, but I still wanna, it's to refresh your memory. And I know I have a lot of textbook. It's still in boxes at home, but who had time? I don't have the time to go through all those things. But with this course, I think it's an advantage to all business owners. But we have a lot more to talk about.
Right.
When we come back, we're gonna be talking about the Air Force bet right here. So please stay tuned. Don't go away.
Pull up Live streaming on social media is the best new way to interact and bond with your community. Do you love to encourage, motivate, and empower others, but you do not know how? Well, your opportunity starts with us on social media shows. We have 20 shows a week live streamed across the globe, with a reach of over 80,000 and growing. So you can host your own show, and you can be anything you want to be. So let's bring the community together, and let's bring the world to you. Join us now. We've reached the age of live streaming on social media shows. You may ask, we're already ahead of the curve, so why do you need to advertise with us? Well, only 8% of the businesses in the US are using digital advertising to grow their business. That's 2 percentage points short of reaching critical mass, which will lead to faster results. We have 20 plus shows with a reach of over 80,000. We'll give you commercial ads, website link, and connections to nonprofit organizations. So get your brand ready for digital monetization, for we are looking for sponsors, which will bring more traffic to your business and ultimately mean more sales. So let's bring the world to you. Inquire now.
Welcome back. Our talk here is just getting heated with Mr. Jason Deluc. Thank you so much for joining me on my show. It's been a pleasure and honor, sir.
Well, thank you for having me. And I'm sorry it took so long to get this to happen. We started talking about this back in like early October, I think.
Yes.
And then there was schedule conflicts, but I'm glad to finally be here.
Yes, I'm so happy. I'm like, I couldn't wait. I'm like, he's coming next week, and I pretty much have to put back all the other guests for the following week, and they're like, no, we want to come now. I'm like, no, we wait.
Well, I appreciate the VIP treatment we get here.
Oh,
So.
thank you. I appreciate you too. But anyways, so you were in the military.
Yes.
You were in Air Force. So you traveled around the world. How long you been in the military?
I did ROTC in college, so that was my officer training. Then I started in 1995,
Wow.
which was a whole different world than it is now, if you've been paying attention for the last 20 years. Started in 1995 and I retired in 2015.
Wow. And you were a colonel.
I was lieutenant colonel.
Lieutenant colonel.
I retired as lieutenant colonel in 2015 out of Maxwell Air Force Base in Alabama.
Oh, right. So when did you move here in Vegas?
So this is the second time I've lived here. The first time I lived here, I moved here as a captain in 2002 for an assignment, and I was here from 2002 to 2007. Then I went on to Colorado for about 5 years. In the middle of that, I did a couple deployments to the Middle East. And then after my last deployment to the Middle East in 2012, while I was there, they told me, after you get back from Iraq, we're going to send you down from Colorado to Alabama.
Have you been in the Tinker Air Base?
I have been there. I have never been permanently stationed there. I actually worked on a project where I would travel there a couple of times a year, and worked with the AWACS planes there. So
nice. So, when did you move back here in Vegas?
2015. Did
you retire here?
I retired out of Alabama, but I moved. I still had my house here because I left in 2007, and that was getting to be a really hard time to sell a house in Las Vegas.
Don't sell it. Let's rent it out.
Well, that's what I did. After it had been on the market a couple months, my real estate agent said to me, why don't we put it up for rent and just see how many hits we get? And then it went up for rent. The day it was up for rent, somebody wanted to rent it. So they were tenants of mine for like 2 or 3 years. And then I had a couple sets of tenants after that to move back to after I got out of the Air Force. I decided to move back here because 360 days of sunshine every year. Can't beat that. The weather's beautiful.
I used to live in Minnesota.
Yeah, so right? I didn't want to go anywhere where I was going to have to live in winter. I'll go visit winter. I've got plenty of friends in Colorado. My family's back in the Northeast. I can go visit winter anytime I want, but I don't want to deal with shoveling snow. I don't want to deal with any ice. I don't want to deal with living in winter where I permanently live. So it worked out. I still had the house, moved back into it, and it's gone.
Well,
well.
I love the shoveling. I want when I go, when I go out, go to the shopping mall or store, I want to actually clean up my windshield with the snow shovels. You know those snow?
Hmm.
Yeah, so it's fun for me because 2 years only. I can imagine for people who actually live all their life out there. Yeah, they're like, I'm done with this.
Yeah, I grew up with it. I'm over it. So
Yeah, exactly.
I don't need it
But
anymore.
it's literally funny that I love to live in the snow.
There's something satisfying about that scraping that snow off the windshield,
It
but
is.
it's not fun when you're on your way to work at 4:30 in the
Oh,
morning,
yeah.
right?
Well, the good thing about cars now is you can turn it on
That's
before
right.
you get into the
That's
car.
right.
So yeah, that's one of the good thing that those are one of the privilege that we have
Yes.
so far these days, right? But anyways, so how I know that you were actually doing something training. You are a reserve officer training corps.
Yeah, that's what I did in basic training, and then you're going to go to your first assignment. If you're going to come into the military as an officer, you can in the Air Force you can go to the Air Force Academy, which is very hard to get into. I didn't get in. That's why I did ROTC in college. So I went to Boston
Oh.
University, which was only about 2 hours from where I grew up, and did ROTC there. And I was able to, after my first year, was able to get a scholarship to pay for college there. So that worked out really well. Or you can go through what's called officer training school, which is what a lot of my friends who I was here with in the early 2000s and are now back here either in assignments in the Air Force or they've retired from the Air Force and they moved back here as well. So there's different ways to become an officer in the military. Service Academy, college through ROTC, or the officer training school is what we call. I think that's what we call it in the Air Force. I didn't go through it, but there's different ways to come in, and ROTC, going to traditional college and doing ROTC as a series of my classes was the way I chose to go through it. So
That's probably it's advantage for you to get into the military and get promoted right away. Is that correct?
Well, the promotions are kind of scheduled those first couple times, but it's a great way to do it. I mean, if you want to go to college and you're looking for the military to pay for it, I would highly recommend looking into ROTC scholarships, whether you're in high school now or you're in college now. And the great thing is, it wasn't like this when I went through the first time, but after 9/11, they created the post 9/11 GI Bill. And if you served, I think it's 18 months, then you got basically 4 years of college for free. And my GI Bill is what I used to pay for my MBA program, because I had already gotten, the Air Force paid for me to get my degree, my undergraduate degree, and then they also paid through what's called the tuition assistance program to get my master's degree in engineering. I thought I was all done with that. Then with all the money I could get from the Air Force, but I was also able to use my post 9/11 GI Bill. So even if you're thinking about going enlisted, you can get 4 years of college paid for if you serve for basically one tour in the military. It's a great thing. It was a really good life for me. I know it's not for everybody, but we talked about having that discipline to get up every day and do, sometimes you don't want to do the things you have to do to run a business. The military is a great way to go develop that discipline, and it is a skill. It's something anybody can learn and develop. And I got to travel all over the world. I got to do really fun and exciting things.
Have you been to the Philippines?
I have not been to the Philippines.
Ah,
It's
you missed out.
one of the few places I've been to Guam, and I haven't been to the
I can
Philippines.
take you now. But
All right.
anyways, yeah, I just want to
Well,
actually.
the airport's right over there, so.
Yeah. Now he's like, let's go. Oh, you will love it. But anyway, I just want to shout out to my friend Len Connell. He actually helping a lot of veterans here in Las Vegas and around the country. He helped you guys file all your GI Bill and any veterans assistance that you could. The most hardest or challenging times with veterans nowadays is they submit a lot of paperworks, and whoever taking all those paperworks, it take them some time to go through it, because they must have a lot of paperwork, especially now with this COVID. But if you guys want really fast help that you could do, they're actually doing this for free. Is Len Connell. You can find him on Facebook. He has two of those veterans assistance programs that he actually helping a lot of veterans, and he has a lot of people around all our veterans. So yes, contact Len Connell. See, Len Connell, I told you I'm gonna go promote you, sweetie. But anyways, so why did you join the military right away? Do you have anybody who actually military in your family before you?
I mean, both of my grandfathers served in World War II. My dad and my uncle had done some National Guard stuff in the 60s and 70s, but I didn't really come from a military family. I
So you're
want
not a military brat.
no, I didn't. I grew up, most of my family, other than like wartime commitments, really wasn't involved in the military, and that's great. But I wanted to go fly fighter planes. I wanted to go travel around the world. I wanted to go do exciting things because that was the recruiting pitch back then. It was before 9/11. It was, get money for college, do exciting stuff,
Go around the world.
go around the world. And honestly,
Everybody's dream is to go around the world.
when I was growing up in the 80s, if you wanted to travel around the world, if you wanted to go to places, that weren't the United States or Western Europe or
You
even
gotta
kind
have
of places
this.
like Japan, you either had to have a lot of money or you had to work for the government. And the same thing about working with the latest technology. That was one of the things that was appealing to me as someone who wanted to be an engineer and study engineering. In the 1980s and 90s, the people doing the most advanced technology stuff were the United States government and the United States military. That's all different now with all of our exciting technologies now. Drug companies and the medical device companies, our most advanced technologies outside of aerospace are really being done outside of the government purview. So kids who are looking to do really exciting technology things and travel around the world have a lot more options than we had back then. But if you wanted to go somewhere, if you wanted to ever go to the Middle East, the only way you were going to get there is if you were working for the State Department of the military, really, because it just didn't happen back then, unless you had a ton of money.
Exactly. Yeah. If you were actually been left with a big inheritance, $1 billion thingy, right?
Yeah.
But anyways, I have one last question. Oh no, you know what? I already asked that. It's already part of. That's
All right.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. But anyways, so what I wanna ask you about is you are in business. As you can see, we had this COVID hit us, and most of the businesses went down. What would you actually advise to all small businesses out there and people who is starting their business, how they can go through this kind of, situations?
Well, I know that times are really hard right now. If you're in hospitality, if you're in food and beverage, if you're in restaurant business, it's very hard right now. I understand that. The event planning community here in Las Vegas,
Entertainment.
these industries are really, really struggling right now. I really feel for them, and I'm racking my brain trying to think of ways to help them. When I come up with stuff, I'll certainly let people know. But even in those industries, or whatever your business is, don't get discouraged. Hard times come with new opportunities. And I know that doesn't always make you feel better, but hard times do come with new opportunities. And the offer I'll make to you and anyone in your audience is if you get a hold of me and you just want to kick around ideas and brainstorm ideas on how you might be able to adapt your business, or even adapt, even if you're not in business but you're working for someone else, what skills do you have? What could we do? What opportunities are out there for you? I'd love to just have a conversation with you for that. Just let's have coffee or a virtual coffee over Zoom or something, and we'll just talk about what problems do you see, what opportunities do you see, and how can you take advantage of them. As hard as this has been for everyone, the lesson that I kind of relearned after being out of the military for a while, no day is ever the same as tomorrow's never going to be the same as today. And unfortunately, March 16th was a very different day than March 15th of this year. But that's the lesson. Tomorrow is not going to be the same as today. It's just a matter of how different it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's something that I think it's a hard lesson we all had to relearn. But if you stay positive, recognize tomorrow is going to be different, and the things that worked today may not work tomorrow, but you're willing to adapt and change, look for new opportunities, and always trying to be solving somebody's problem, there's opportunities out there for you. So whether you're starting a business, whether your business has struggled a little bit because of COVID, whether you're not able to do anything right now, there's opportunities out there, but it just takes being open-minded, adapting, And, you know, like I said, please talk to me. We'll see if we can help you find something that you might be able to do to fill your time and make some money until things are such that you can get back to what you were doing previously.
Yes, and keep your branding. Stick to your branding, people, because that's more important. I believe that this time, this downtime that we're having right now is by focusing on your branding, putting everything together so that when we open up again, you're like boom, ready to go. So thank you so much, viewers, for staying with us. Thank you so much, Jason. I hope you guys stay tuned again tomorrow because I have three amazing guests, radio personalities and actress. So thank you so much, viewers.
I'm going to come back tomorrow for that.
Oh, you're coming back tomorrow for that. See, we have a brand new viewer, acquaintance, and everything. We have a mentor. How's that? But anyways, thank you, viewers. See you tomorrow. Bye bye now. Thank you for watching Let's Talk World. I hope you enjoyed our featured guests for the day. Please visit us on socialmediashows.com, subscribe on our channel on YouTube, and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Periscope. Don't forget to share and like and comment on our show. Thank you so much, and I'll see you guys again next week.